Hello and welcome to Athena's Creations 2017. I'm Athena Turk, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I am so glad that you have chosen to join me either live in Facebook or on the replay on YouTube. It's been a hot minute since I've been here. Took a little break over the holidays, but I'm back. I got to do a little stamping. A little behind on my paper pumpkins because there's new kits coming out and there's a brand new catalog. But hey, I'm excited to share with you a very easy chapstick holder that you can make. And I'm using contents from the kit and the stamp and the little embellishment. And it's so easy. So I'm going to do that first. And then we're going to make all three cards as is, even though I cringe because these are beautiful cards that on the alternatives, I've cut them in half and made them card fronts, put in a couple of fun folds. Again, easy and simple to replicate, and so hopefully that will inspire you to get your kit out or to get out some fun crafting materials and make some beautiful cards. And I'm going to try so much better this year to send more of my cards out. I make, gosh, I don't know how many a month, but I do make a lot. And so I'm going to try this year to send out more, especially the cards from this kit, because this one, it's dear friend, the little things you do for me mean so much. And that's one of the sentiments from this kit. This is a really nice kit. It's the paper pumpkin from December, like I said, and then Saturday will be the day to get the January paper pumpkin, and it's a Valentine's or Galentine's, and so you're going to want to get a hold of that one and be sure and subscribe and all the things. I'm also bringing in some new product to play with tonight. Prayers and Thoughts, that's a brand new one, and it's in the new packaging, so it'll save you some shelf space. I'm using the right words. I am using what's in the kit, but I am bringing in some fun layered thoughts, the new Hope, Love, and Joy bundle. And I just kind of put it in here, but I'll share all of that with you. I'm gonna go ahead and get the camera and point it down because I got a lot to cover. And I always try to keep it to about an hour. That way, you can always rewind it, fast forward, all the stuff. I still don't know how to, edit all of that once I've gone live and I save it to my phone and then I go and upload it to YouTube. I still haven't figured out how to edit out some of the dead space. I don't know. Maybe somebody out there is smart and they'll reach out and they can enlighten me. That would be so fabulous. But anyway, let's go ahead and turn the camera down and we will get started on the easy chapstick holder, which is really fun. And I'm excited to share it with you. I actually, during the little break, we had a fun demonstrator get together with some of my demonstrator friends, and they are so talented and they're so crafty, and they were very sweet to share something brand new with me, which is the chapstick holder. And it's, like I said, it's super easy. So it'll hold the, like the Burt's Bees, it'll hold the chapstick. And this one was the cute little, I think this is a retired stamp, or not stamp, but paper, and of course the dies. I mean, that's so cute. I think that was before my time, but anyway, that's so cute. And so I'm going to share that with you. Again, there's this new one in the catalog. If you hadn't seen it, it is amazing. Love, Joy, and Hope, and you've got all these different things that I think this is one of those that is going to probably carry over. If I were betting, I would bet this one would carry over, simply because you've got all different kinds of seasons going on here. You've got like Valentine's or wedding, hope, wishing you hope. There's like there's a star, then there's praying hands, a dove, fill the world, and there's a world, and of course the snowflake, and then there's the coordinating dies. This is also a $1 million sales achiever, Evie DiPiazzo. I'm so sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. So she designed this, and I'm excited to use the little dove that's on this one. I have it on a block already, and I went ahead and stamped it and die cut it out ahead of time. I'm kind of old school, and so I haven't quite gotten a hold of how I'm going to store this yet, so I just put this one in a spare little container there. But we're going to do the Watercolor in Bloom. It's the December 2025 Paper Pumpkin Kit. And of course, I've got some really fun alternatives. And one of the things I do when I get a kit or a paper pumpkin out, I apologize if I'm speaking too fast. I just have so much to share. One of the first things that I like to do is just to get out some die cuts that are blank and then just kind of stamp and see, you know, what the stamps will do, right? What will they fit on? Now, I didn't end up using any of these, but maybe you see this and you've got the stamp or the punch or the bundle or something and you wanted to do something with that, you could, and hopefully that'll inspire you. But these stamp sets are simply amazing. And here we go with this one. I'll give you all the measurements. Let's see. This has got that cute die cut. And in fact, it is actually the add-on that you can get, the Abundant Joy dies. And it's this cute little piece right here. And I die cut those out ahead of time. And then, of course, there's a new one for January that you can get if you're a subscriber. It's the Beautiful Bloom dies, and it's got this nice set right here. It looks like tulips, the word beautiful, and that'll be good for the next 3 months, which you definitely are going to want to subscribe because all 3 months are amazing. So we've got a pomegranate spritz chapstick, any flavor or scent or whatever it's called will fit. This will be a fun little gift to put in the mailbox for the mail person. You know, maybe the waiter or waitress would be a nice little unexpected gift. You know, it's that season where sometimes our our lips are chapped and we need a little something. And you can always find these in any of your dollar stores, Walmart, checkout counters, you know, that kind of stuff. Cotton candy's my favorite, spearmint, all kinds of fun. Or if you're lucky, you'll get over there to the Walmart and they might actually have their seasonal stuff 90% if there's anything left. I got a pack of this for $4 for like $1.20 or something. So I picked up a couple of those because you're, you know, I don't know, always on the hunt for that. So here's the template. And what I recommend is liquid glue for just this one little piece. I'm going to actually use tonight the Stampin' Seal Plus, and a little trick I'm going to share with you. The liquid glue is always a little more forgiving, and so that's something to keep in mind. The measurements, let me give you that one first off before we go any further. But I'll tell you that once this is what it looks like when you do the cutting and stuff, and you cut it out. It's good to have a die cut because I've kind of messed it up, but the chapstick holder is, your cardstock is 5 inches by 3 1/4. And then you're going to score on the 5-inch side, you're going to score it at 3/8 of an inch, 1 1/8, 3 7/8, and 4 5/8. And then you're going to turn on the 3 1/4 inch side, and you're going to score that at 1/4 of an inch, which is going to be this tiny piece right here, 1 inch, 1 3/4, and 2 1/2. So go ahead and do that little screenshot if you want. And we're going to cut this. I went ahead and this is the paper that I cut from one of the card fronts. And, you know, from one card, you can get 2 little chapstick holders. And so that's basically what I did with the extra pieces. All right, chapstick holder. Hopefully you got that. You can always rewind it. All right, so we're going to get our scissors out. And like I said, this is my template. I didn't quite cut that one, but this is what it looks like when you do all of those little tiny pieces. In fact, I need to make sure before I cut that the little pieces are in the correct, that I cut it correctly, because I did that one time and I didn't have it correct. Okay, so here's the tiny piece here, so that's going to be the bottom right here. Okay, here we go. So now you can see by having a template. And if you want to take a picture of that, you can. Maybe that's helpful. I don't know. You'll see the pieces that we'll need to completely cut out. Okay? So let's just go ahead and start that. We're going to totally get rid of this corner piece right here. And then this little piece right here we're going to get rid of. I find it's easier to cut before you do all of the score lines. And then this one, we're just going to take this little piece off. Okay? And then we've got this little piece right here we're going to cut off. And then we're going to, I think the word is martyr, or snip off some of those edges. Snip them. All right. And then this side, we're going to take off this corner right there. And then we're going to take off this little piece right there. We're going to completely take off this section right here on the bottom. And then we're going to take this one off. Okay. So there's our template. And then I'm going to turn it. And then we're going to cut up to that score line. Okay, like that. And I'm going to, I forget what they call it, but I'm going to kind of square off the edge there, because that's going to be what folds in. Take a little piece off of there, a little piece off of there, just like that. And then, of course, the middle one, let me just fold that. This middle piece on both sides, we're just going to kind of round it off with your scissors, just like that. Just round it off. It's not perfect, but that's okay. Then we're going to turn it to the other side and do basically the same thing. Okay, cut up to the score line. And I'm doing it on the white side, so hopefully you can see it. Because on the dark side, sometimes it's hard to see. That's why I'm doing that. Okay, you cut up to the score line. And then just trim this up. Sometimes I don't trim close enough when I'm using that template. Make sure that's nice and squared off. And then we're going to snip off the inside of this tab. Just like that. Snip off that section. Same there. And then again, we've got that middle piece that we want to just kind of round it off. Oop. Hey, Crystal, I see you've joined us. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a while since I've been live. Finally had some time to sit down and play. I love to be able to craft. All right, there we go. And so now it should look just like our template. Yay, it does. All right, so let's go ahead and get rid of what we've cut off. And then that's what it looks like with all of the scoring. And this is retired paper. That's what I do with some of my retired paper. I use it to make templates. That way, when I go to craft something new with new product, I can utilize these great templates. It's just something I started doing. This is, I think, my 101, very first of the new year video. Happy New Year. Hope you all had a great holiday. All right, so I can't see any comments if people are commenting, so just FYI, but I will reply later if I see any. So what we're going to do is, like I said, we're going to just on this section here use Stampin' Seal Plus. If you have time, the liquid glue is more forgiving, and I would highly recommend that. However, I do have a trick I'm going to share. I'm going to do my best to keep, and I think I did. Yep. So you can see there's overlap, a little bit of a lip, right? So I'm just going to fold it over onto itself, the glue, the extra sticky glue, Stampin' Seal Plus. And I'm basically going to fold this all the way over, just like that. Okay, super simple and easy. And then one side is going to be the bottom. And this one you don't need to worry about any extra glue. You can if you want. And then you have this piece left open, right? We're going to stamp Thank You, which is part of this beautiful stamp set, Watercolor in Bloom. And as you can see, there's lots of great greetings on this one. You make me feel so loved. Miss you so much. We have some stamper friends that have moved away, and gosh, we are missing them. Hopefully they can come for a visit soon. So let's go ahead and stamp that. What we're going to use to stamp that with, oh, here we go, are these little pieces, which I keep in a tiny little, it's right here to the left of my desk. Sometimes embellishments come in plastic bags, and I'll use these to put these little pieces. Like when I trim down my cardstock, I had these little pieces left over. What's the perfect size for little projects like this? Here's my thank you word. And I am bringing in, I believe it's back in stock. It was out of stock for a short time. It's the 3 banner punch. And so this one's really fun to trim off the edges, and that's what I did there. I think this time I'm going to trim the bottom instead of the front. So let me show you how we can do that. I did already stamp this one, so let's go ahead and bypass that real quickly. I have a lot of fun to share and cover, so I want to make sure I have plenty of time. All right, so in fact, let's change it up. Let's use this middle one instead of the first one that I did before. And of course, there's this one too that you could use, which is really nice. But let's do the middle one. And it fits right in just like that. It's like almost the perfect size. I want to say it's 1/4 of an inch. Let's see. This might be easier said than done, but it can be done. All right. Find the sweet spot, punch it, and there it is. I love punches. I mean, the die cuts are amazing too, but punches, when it comes to things like this, love it. So that's super easy. Just a little bit of adhesive. Thank you. That is cute. And we're gonna put in a little spearmint, chapsticks, the perfect size. And then to top it off, I went ahead and die cut a bunch of these. Now, I don't know if you've noticed on this one, there's beautiful green colors and white, but no bright, colorful colors. And so I just decided I would bring in Strawberry Slush. I figured, you know, that's the closest color that I think just pops. And I'm gonna put it on a glue dot. At least I think I am. There we go. Super cute, right? And then, of course, the little embellishments that come with the kit. Hopefully I won't run out, but, well, if I do, I have other embellishments. Put a little bitty one right in the center for a little chapstick holder. Super, super cute. Oh, it came off. I would be lost without my Take Your Pick tool. This is my second one I've owned. Believe it or not, it gets worn out because I use it constantly. All right, so that's how fun and easy that is. Super, super easy, right? I'll share on the Facebook page group, I will definitely share all of the still shots that I've taken for this one. And then let's just dive right in to the cards that I've made, the alternatives, and the 3 cards as is if we have time at the end. I've got them all set aside to put together as is. But I've started doing that where, you know, I could do like everybody else and put it together, or, you know, you've seen it probably, or you even have it and you know exactly how it goes. So I'll put those last if we have time. Now, look at these beautiful envelopes. I want to share with you my creative alternative, Athena Originals, I call them. Because like I said, it's been a hot minute since I've been able to play and craft. And I just sat down and probably spent 2 or 3 hours, and I'm like having a blast coming up with these designs. Now this one is using that new dove. Absolutely love it. This beautiful scripture, John 14:27. Absolutely love. It's part of the Prayers and Promises, which is in the annual catalog. And it's $1 Million Sales Achiever, Carol Nordquist. And this one has amazing stamps, 11 amazing stamps. This is a must, okay? I'm telling you, you're going to want to get this stamp set. Let's see. I'll tell you what page it's on. It's on page 69 of the mini catalog, which is brand new. Yay! I can finally show y'all the inside to this amazing new catalog. This is a must-have. You're definitely going to want to get that one. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I had this one because I had some friends who I needed to send a special card to, and there were just beautiful verses here. So I was able to use those and send those out. And so that's my first alternative. It's a plain and simple, but again, using the leftover kit contents to create my own design. And then this one, same thing. I just brought in 2 different colors because, again, I wanted some pop of color to someone worth celebrating every single day. And for this one, I brought in the right words to someone worth celebrating. Happy birthday. This is a really good one too. And just made it into a fun fold and added a couple of pieces there. And then we'll continue. Like I said, there's lots in store. So let's just go ahead and dive in. I know I've said that several times, but it truly is about just diving in and playing, right? I enjoy crafting so much, and when I don't get to craft because life gets busy and it gets messy sometimes, I just have a burst of creativity, I guess. I don't know. I love to craft so much. And I feel so blessed to be able to do it when I can. And share all my fun, creative ideas. And really and truly, Stampin' Up! Makes it so easy because they have all of these amazing kits. They have paper pumpkin, just so many beautiful things that you can coordinate, all the colors. So this is one of the cardstock bases. It was one of them, and I cut it in half, and I just did the 5 1/4 by 4. And then I'm going to hold down one side, lift up the flap, and I'm going to add in my adhesive. To me, that's the easiest way. And if you have a little extra there, you can just rub it and it comes right off. And if you have one of those silicone mats, you can use that and it'll keep your workspace clear and clean, but no worries. I die cut these pieces ahead of time. It's part of the add-on. And I stamped and die cut from the New Hope. I believe that's an online exclusive. Or is it in the catalog? Maybe it is. Maybe I saw it in the catalog. There's just so much in this catalog. Yep, it is. It's on page 52. The New Hope, Love, and Joy. I absolutely love this one. Look at these fun samples. And it has die cuts. $1 Million Sales Achiever. Absolutely love this one. So here's some of the pieces from the kit that were left over. And we're going to just stamp, peace I leave with you, my peace I give unto you. And that should be right here, yep, right here in front of me. And so the paper pumpkins always give us the coordinating colors, which is wonderful. Garden Green, Night of Navy, Pretty Peacock, Secret Sea, which I'm using tonight, and Shaded Spruce and Bronze. Again, no bright colors, so I brought in Strawberry Slush. Beautiful color. All right. Oh, yes, here we go. And so you can see this is the square, and then we're going to put this cute little piece right on top using Secret Sea. All right, just tap, tap, tap. And there, just kind of toward the bottom a little bit. Very nice. One of my favorites here. All right. And then next we're going to use our take your pick tool to pick things up. We're actually going to just kind of center it just like that. Pretty easy. Again, just flip that adhesive back where it needs to be. It gets a little to the front. I'm just kind of eyeballing it. And then of course, we want to add on this cute little die cut white piece. From the add-on. And then I'm going to add 3 dimensionals. Take the backs off. And just kind of find that sweet spot in the middle here. Just like that. And then we're going to add our little greenery. And then of course our beautiful dove. It's the cutest, tiniest little dove, absolutely beautiful. And then we're going to finalize this card with a little embellishment that came with the paper pumpkin. I thought about bringing in some of the other shiny ones that we have, which you could definitely, especially if we run out, we will. These are gorgeous. These are Sparkle Dot Essentials. I am a sucker for all the bling. Oh, it just is so pretty. This will go with everything, literally everything. Lots of fun new embellishments in the catalog and online exclusives. So that was our first alternative, my creative take on it. And then the second one, and this one I basically measured this front piece here, which is 3 1/4 by 4 1/2, and then I just cut some plain white paper to fit on the inside. I'm going to show you a trick on that too, to line them up. And so what I did was, it's already scored at 5 1/2. So I put it in my trimmer and at 2 1/2 and scored it again. Fold it in half. Fold it back on itself. Fold it this way. And fold it back on itself. And just make sure it's all nice and lined up. And so for this one, we're going to do our stamping first. Then we'll adhere just this portion. And then we'll line up after we stamp the inside piece so that it's covered once it's closed. So that's the trick to that one. We're going to stamp. This one's going to be interesting because these, pardon me, the right words, I think if you can get it now, it's not going to be red rubber. I don't believe. Excuse me. Because they've done away with. They're no longer available. And I love photopolymer the best because I can see where I'm stamping. So this one's a little tricky to make sure that it's not wonky, but hey, never know. Strawberry slush, give it some pop pizzazz of color. Tap, tap, tap. The nice thing about this is if it is off, which, oh yay, it's not, it looks great, but if it were off, there is a little piece we could stamp again and put inside. So there's always a little fix. I say 90% of the time there's a fix for, you know, any oopsies that might occur. So happy birthday, dear friend. We all have dear friends, don't we? Our stamping buddies are our dear friends. Secret C. All right. And just find that sweet spot right there in the middle. Oh, I should have left that one open. So the inside, we have a sentiment that we're going to stamp using the beautiful strawberry slush. And it's to someone worth celebrating, another red rubber. So hopefully this one will be straight as well. If not, we'll turn it over. All right. To someone worth celebrating every single day. I feel like I've missed a couple of birthdays here lately. Yay, it's not crooked. Okay. I definitely need to send more cards out. Okay. So now this one we're going to go ahead and we're going to find what appears to be centered, right? And then I'm going to hold down one side and I'm going to lift this side up and apply my adhesive. And just finish off the adhesive here. And then I'm going to line this piece. Kind of eyeball it, line it up a little bit here. So that when it's closed, you won't be able to see it. And I'm holding it down in place. And go ahead and add that adhesive. Oop, there we go. And then you close it and you can't see it. Now we're going to add in our cute little flower that I went ahead and die cut ahead of time. Save a little bit of time and pop that on there. And our cute little adhesive, or pretty little embellishments, I should say. We'll put one down here. And I want it to stick everywhere. One there, and then one more at the top. And I realized there's one more stamping to do, and it's this cute little tiny, I almost forgot, in that corner there, strawberry slush. I see 3 have joined tonight. Thank y'all so much. I can't always see who joins or who might be commenting, but I appreciate that y'all have joined. Cute little stamp. Just a nice little pop of color there. Card number 2 complete. And these can't come together fairly easy too. Now, this one is card number 3. And I brought in some other die cuts. Dear friend, you make me feel loved. Then using some of those add-on pieces. Brought in some white, cut the card base in half. And that was my alternative card number 3. Super simple. There we go. And this one, basically, we're just gonna Pop this piece right on the front. Find that sweet spot. Hold it down, lift up this flap, and finish off with the rest of the adhesive. Next, we're going to stamp, Dear Friend, You Make Me Feel So Loved. Make sure I find the right stamps here. Yep, there we go. Using Secret C, and by the way, the little ink spot is Secret C, which is the new in color, and it's one of my favorites. I use it for little bitty pieces. It's so much easier than the big to stamp with that one, if that makes sense. I don't know. All right, Dear Friend. Just kind of find the middle here. Dear Friend, comma, You Make Me Feel So Loved. Probably should have done this one in a different color, but it's really nice. All right. And then you could always use dimensionals. I just put it on there flat. Kind of find the middle. I call it the sweet spot. Then I put these on glue dots already just to make it a little bit easier. And this one's just going to go on the side. And then this greenery is going to go on that side. And we're going to have a pop of color right there. Pop of color right there. See how simple that is? I just love how pretty these cards come together. And then these embellishments. 1, 2, and 3. Super nice. Love, love, love these cards. And then I got out a template for the next alternative card. Because sometimes I'm like, okay, I've done a few things, now what? Time to peruse my templates. And so that's what this next card is based on. Thank you. The little things you do for me mean so much. Isn't that pretty? And I brought in some cloud cover. They have this, all this are extra pieces from the kit. And I guess you can tell this part of the kit was supposed to go on this one, but I just thought it looked really pretty with these really nice colors like that. So this was the alternative I came up with for this one. And then again, it's scored at 5.5 and 2 1/8. Basically folds back on itself to create one of those fun folds. So what we're going to do first is we're going to put our pieces together. The first thing is this beautiful vellum piece. And there's a die cut if it's still available. I'm not sure. It might be on that last chance list. Came out last spring. It's one of those die cuts. It looks just like this. And we also have vellum. So you could kind of make something very similar. You could also do, like the kit says, Watercolor In Bloom. You could also do some watercoloring on your white cardstock, and you could come up with a pattern very similar. I'm sure somebody smarter than me has already figured that out and maybe shown a sample, but that would be super cute too. Now, I do have something to share, and that's this right here. You'll see I've added some adhesive, right? Oh, that's awful. But I knew I would be covering part of it up with all of this fun stuff here. So no worries there. And then, in fact, this is going to go next. So pretty. Then we have all these little pieces that we're going to use. And then this piece that came with it is what we're going to stamp on, and then it's going to be on dimensionals on top, which is kind of cool. So the word thank you It's right here. And the little things you do for me mean so much. There's that one. The cards as intended are beautiful. I just love to expand the kit and make more cards. Thank you. The little things you do for me mean so much. And this could be to anybody, you know. Maybe you have a neighbor who helps you with things. This would be a good one for them. All right. And we are going to trim up these dimensionals because waste not, want not. I think is something my mom used to say. Hate to admit it, but when I first started crafting, I would throw it away at this point until I saw a video and it was like, oh no, you can trim that up and use it. So guess what? I try to utilize as much as I can. All right. So now we're just going to find that middle piece, just like that. And then we're going to go ahead and add this one. And we're going to kind of slip it under a little bit. Same thing for this one. Right there. And then this one was part of the kit, and what I used on this card was the big piece, but I either used it or I misplaced it somewhere. I don't know. That's okay. We've got this one here and it'll work just fine. It's just going to go right on the top. And next we get to use these embellishments, which we might have just enough even for the last card. What do you know? And I want to use a small one. The center right there. 1, 2, and 3. So pretty. Now we're ready to add this one to our card front. And again, we're going to look for that sweet spot where it's centered. Hold down one side, lift up the flap, and add that adhesive. Ooh, I'm getting low again. That's card number what? 3, 4? I'm losing track. It's truly fun creating fun little different designs with the kit. Do things that maybe it wasn't intended for, thinking outside the box, all of that. This one we're using that big happy birthday, which honestly is one of my favorite stamp sets. Happy birthday, thank you, thinking of you, love, and again, layered thoughts, $1 Million Sales Achiever, Barb Brimhall. Fun stamp set. This one I really was thinking outside the box. I'm thinking though I might want to change this to give it strawberry slush. So I think I'm going to clean the block and we're going to do that and see if it looks better. And then look, the envelope I decided to put on the inside. So I cut the envelope sides down so I would have an inside piece for this one. And I brought in Secret C. Beautiful vellum, nice and squared. And then let me just show you really quickly on the envelope how I did that. So what I did was I put it in the trimmer, a 1/4 of an inch on each side to trim it. And when you put it in at that 1/4 of an inch on both sides, that's 5 1/4 when you're done. And then I trimmed it up, trimmed it all the way down at 1/4 of an inch, and then took off all the pieces to it. It's as simple as that. And that's our inside piece. Love it. All right. So let's try that first. We're gonna stamp happy birthday with that pretty strawberry slush. But first, like I said, we wanna clean our block, or stamp set rather. Clean off that beautiful secret C. And then I'm using block I, which is the big rectangle. And then let's just spot check this one just to make sure. Yep, it's clear. Cleaned up. All right. So now we're going to try the strawberry slush. Make sure it's all in line here. Ooh, that's pretty. Beautiful, vibrant color. And we're just going to find that middle and then press down nice and evenly. Oh, that's pretty. So glad I changed the color. That is really, really pretty. Okay. All right, so now we might as well get out our beautiful Secret C cardstock. And then this one's basically going to be centered, so I'm going to try to find that sweet spot as close as possible. That looks good. I'm going to hold the one side. And then add a little adhesive. And then oh, I forgot. We're gonna stamp some greenery before we put our beautiful vellum on. Oh, how dare I forget. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna bring in garden green. I'm glad I caught that. Because, well, I don't know. This is that straight up and down. That's really cute. And then this little piece of greenery here. One there. And one there. That's okay. It's not perfectly even, but you'll see why in just a minute. And I accidentally got some ink on me. So let's get some of that ink off, shall we? I'm gonna have inky fingers, that's okay. Huh. Nobody'll know. It's all good. All right, so now we're gonna add, and again, you know, I'm gonna try to put it in places where I know I'm gonna put some embellishments, like I know for sure I'm gonna have to cover that piece up. And I'm just gonna line it up. You can't really see it, which is nice. I like that. And let's just kind of see, do we want to put this one here maybe instead of the white one? Let's do that. Let's put that one there. Strawberry slush, right in the center, or the middle rather. And now we're going to bring in our adhesive, our embellishments, super cute. And we didn't run out, so I still have plenty more if I wanted to put together the originals. But like I said, that almost redundant in a way because it's going to be exactly as it's shown before. I'd rather just show y'all my fun alternatives. And now we've got the inside where we're going to bring in that envelope piece, which is super cute. Gonna hold one side, lift up the flat, and then add our adhesive. And you could always write something on the inside if you want. And then, you know, if you needed, like, you know, sympathy, the vellum really softens the really bold color, I guess, behind it. And it's just a beautiful, bold print for this stamp set. I love it. So here's 2 different takes on it. Which one do you like the best? Oh, you like the strawberry slush? Yep. It is really pretty. I like it. Yep. So that's the alternatives that I have. And I don't know if I'm just lazy, tired, or what is it, but I think the originals are pretty self-explanatory on how to put together. And so I have 1 card of each left and just a little bit of embellishments left. I mean, I think I used some of these pieces are left over from the kit. Otherwise, I've used pretty much everything from the kit. And this time, I think I even used all of the stamps, which is amazing. So I've got extra little pieces and stuff. But there's card number 1. Or 4, whatever it is. And then the next one, alternative. And then there's this one. And then there is this one, Fun Fold. So 5 cards, 5 different designs. And of course, the one we did at the very beginning, this fun chapstick holder. Absolutely love that one. Super fun chapstick holder. So this is what we made tonight. I'm so glad you tuned in, whether it was live or on the replay on YouTube later. I can't wait to see y'all again on the 17th. So not this Saturday, but the following Saturday will be our next in-person. I have a feeling we might be doing something Valentine's. I do know that this love is on a block. So, stay tuned for more on that. But again, thank y'all so much for joining me. We will see you again next week. And we'll have something new from the catalog, maybe Valentine's, shaker cards, because there's so many fun things out now. Anyway, we will see you next week. Happy stamping.